So let's talk about Martella the Queen Holt. Let's go ahead and talk about the fact that he has 20 women. I guess now we really see where the 20 women, 20 babysitters thing comes from. The 20 number is him projecting how many women at a time he is allegedly sleeping with and talking to. That is the 20 women that he's talking about. He was referring to himself allegedly. And talking about 20 babysitters, now we know. It's coming from the fact that Martella is dating so many women. It's insane. And it's always crazy to me when some of these men think that they can handle all these different women when you could barely handle one woman. I tell my sisters all the time, and we talk and laugh about it. It's like some of these men really have in their minds that they can balance all these different women, all these different children, all these different families that they're creating. And it's like, but you couldn't even satisfy, take care of, or be loyal to one woman. How can you balance so many women financially in any way with Martell? It's really insane to me. And seeing how his brain works through his actions, we get to see kind of like a glimpse into what he may be thinking. I don't even think he has the mental or intellectual capacity to balance this many women. All he can do is, I guess, sleep with this many women. And we already know that Martell allegedly does not even use protection. That's why babies pop up. And, it's alleged that he might have another baby with Miss Ghetto Ariane. Ariane is so ghetto, by the way. Let's talk about that. That's her issue. That's what her problem is. When you have a ghetto mentality and you come from just ghetto, you tend to think that that stuff like this is regular. Like sleeping with somebody's husband, you think is regular. Popping out babies back and forth and trying to compete with, his ex-wife and all this. That's like in ghetto world, that's normal stuff to do. So that's why she doesn't really see an issue with anything that she's doing because she's ghetto. And it's very clear that she's ghetto, the way she dressed, the way she carried herself. And Martell said many times on the show that she was not a woman of any status that he really would want to be with. That's why, he did all this in his marriage with this ghetto girl, and then he never married her. That's what I think the question is to Martell. If Ariane was so important and you were trying to use her to teach Mel whatever you thought you were going to teach her, and you said you loved Ariane so much, and Ariane wasn't just sex according to you, and she was all this and good conversation, and she was providing this, that, and the third. Everybody wants to know, Martella, why aren't you married to her? You want to be married. You keep touting around town. You want to be married. You will marry yourself in I don't know what world, but okay. You will marry yourself and all that. So why don't you marry Ariane and go live on happily ever after? That's the real question. Honestly, Ariane needs to be asking herself that too. It's clear as day that you don't want to. That's number one. But not only is he stringing her along, she's not very smart. That's probably why she didn't. I'm not trying to, be funny, but that's probably why she didn't finish nursing school. I heard nursing school is very hard. And somebody as ghetto as she is probably just, wanted to be somebody's baby mama. And then, so he's allegedly dating her still, and she might have had a baby or whatever. Then another baby. Then Sheree is, old grandma, that old windbag Sheree, big nose Sheree, as Nene used to call her, is running around town talking about this her man, and she's sleeping with him with her fibroids. And then he's dating this other lonely woman, Belinda, right? Was stringing her along and had this bimbo talking about somebody's bonus mom. Girl, in what world are you somebody's bonus mom? Do Martell really have y'all that stuck on stupid that y'all would do something like that? Or are you just desperate for attention, Belinda? That's what I want to know. Then not only her, now it's another girl in the friend circle that, they're saying and alleging that he's sleeping with her and that she's a friend of Belinda. You women have to really, I see what they say when they say stand up. Y'all really, I don't know. It's like y'all are smart, but y'all don't be so smart at the same time. You can't be smart and a woman of a certain status, or you claim to be, and then you let men run all over you. I don't get that. And men treat you like a little side piece. But I guess that's the new thing this day and age. And then people have confirmed that this woman has babysat their children. After Martell went and said, oh, Melody has 20 babysitters. She's having men watch the kids, doing this, doing that. You're having women that you're sleeping with allegedly watch the children. So it's okay for you to have all these different women watch your guys' children. But it's not okay when Melody has her actual family members watch your children. That goes to show how sadistic and dark-minded this type of person is, in my personal opinion. I think Martell's way of thinking is very sick and sadistic. It's disgusting, actually. And this takes me back to the conversation they had after Martell was stalking her at the restaurant. And she said, you don't see me worrying about all the millions of women that you have to sleep with from state to state. And that's what she meant. She's been aware that Martell has been sleeping with many women. That's why she's also said on the show as well, like, well, Martell has been with more than one person outside of this marriage. And he got so mad when she said that and called her a liar. But it's very clear that he obviously has many women that he's dating, talking to, sleeping with, using. Like, that's been his thing. And I know for Melody, she exposes some of the things, but I know that she does not tell everything. You know, I think there's still a certain level of like her holding back a lot of information that she has not shared. Imagine if these are the women that we know about, right? Imagine all the women that we have no clue that he's been doing all this stuff with. Imagine all the women that Melody has had to discover in her marriage, and even the ones that she doesn't know about, right? So Martell has a history, and it's clearly a issue, in my opinion, that he has, where he has to be with all these different women. Maybe it feeds his ego. We know that he does carry narcissistic traits, but it's just so crazy. And I feel like, you know, if Melody starts to reveal more and more things about the stuff that he's done, like imagine all the things we don't know that he's done to her when she was married to him all those years that she just dealt with outside of even cheating. It seems like he has so much dirt in his closet, and so many skeletons in his closet, rather. But I do know that Melody is writing a book or something like that, I heard. And I cannot wait for her to write a book about her marriage and divorce. I think that's her right. Even though she's moved on, I still think it's good for her because she has another book, I do believe. So I think it'll be really good for her to write her book and just tell it all. Tell all the experiences that you really dealt with. I think another part too is that she has children with him, and you know, kids do find things out, but they gonna grow up eventually and they gonna see stuff on television, and they, you know, gonna remember things in the home anyway. So you might as well just tell your truth and write that book, Melody. Put that book out. I guarantee you it will be a New York Times best-selling book if she promotes it properly. So I want her to really divulge in the sadistic things that he's really done, because I know she's holding back, okay? So what I think is really confusing about him is, you know, you're dating all these other women. I don't see how you still have time to be so concerned and obsessed, in my opinion, with Melody. You know, if you have all these other women on your plate and you're so over Melody, why don't you just leave her alone with all the petty, vindictive stuff? And why don't you just go do all that stuff to Sheree and do all that stuff to Ariane and Belinda and her friend and, you know, whoever else that you are doing these narcissistic, you know, games with? Why don't you go do that with them? Let them be your plaything. They seem willing to be your play toy. It's clear that Melody is done playing games with you. So just go and do that with Sheree. Like, why don't you go and be in a relationship with Ariane or marry her or marry Sheree, or just go find one of these millions of women allegedly that you're with. Pick one of them to be your new wife and just move on and just co-parent. But it's clear you're not trying to co-parent. You use your kids, in my personal opinion, as a pawn against Melody because she's done with you. And so you think that pulling on the children is pulling on the heartstrings. But if you know anything about what you've been going around in interviews saying that you're a man of God and you took Melody to church and this and that, then you should know how God works. And the law of God is you reap what you sow. What you put out there, you will receive back, okay? So doing all this stuff, you think you're getting away with it now. It can hit you at any moment like a ton of bricks. So it will be best that you just be genuine, let Melody live her life and move on. Be in your kid's life when it's your time, and go do this stuff with Sheree, Ariane, Belinda, her friend, and whomever else. And then you can live your own life and be in peace. So, guys, I'm done with this topic. Comment down below and let me know what you think about it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, please. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm still new on this channel. And once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be going live and doing, a lot of other stuff. Okay, bye.